because in the DVD they have like 2 DVDs, one with the commercial stuff and one with the artist.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, this is nice.
This is like AT&T
but in Buenos Aires.
Aires.
And they have like a flagship store, really wide and, you know, kind of techy.
Oh, I see.
In Buenos Aires, there aren't like a university or place
Where you can really go and learn this stuff.
learn processing or
Just now they had a few
yes, in the
places.
beginning
There was nothing.
There was no place. And we start with a friend programming in Flash, ActionScript, and then we start to show the work.
They organize a thing that it's called, it's difficult in English, but it's kind of a weekend, a nerd weekend they do.
When is it?
So what is it called?
It's called Misiones Cortas Clandestinas Weekend Nerd. It's like
I got some of it.
short missions, clandestine short mission,
Yeah.
nerd weekend kind of thing, where they do it in Buenos Aires or in some other cities, and people would just sign up, and we would spend 2 or 3 days together with our computers, and we would have like sort of classes, because it's not really like teaching, but they
Like
mostly say, okay, let's learn processing, so they just do some workshop on processing. But it's kind of nice because it's sort of like what happens here, that people maybe they know something or they just don't know anything, and they would come and see what's going on. And the DJ did some scratch and turntable labs, to teach the other guys how to do it, and we would teach some video. Well, they had a lot of BJs in the group, so
There are
they
a big
do a lot
community of VJs and visual artists, so I think all is working on
together.
these guys. But
And they recently they opened their lab, the real lab, the place, for a few times a week, where after work hours they would open it up and people would come up and just or talk or share something or use, because they have equipment, and sometimes that's the worst part, because you may have an idea but you don't really have like the resources to do it, so they kind of open the lab and people would go, and it drove me crazy at start, because you would see people who had like no programming background, and it's weird to see how they manage to understand an if statement, or what is a loop, or that kind of thing. So you have to kind of put yourself in another position to work with people who had like no programming background, but it's at the same time I think it's more interesting, because they are not like so caged, and it will be like, oh well, but I want to do this, and you would go, well, yeah, of course you can do that. I never thought about that, because perhaps you think it sounds
They're bringing
like
a different background to the table.
and I think that's the interesting part about this, having all these people mixed up and learning together or teaching different things. And when you see the code, it's really fun, because you see like, I don't know, the typical cont and var and value, and then you have like esta cosa que anda and that kind of thing, and you see when you open code and it's Latin American, because you see all the variables names mixed up, and it's like what are you doing? It's amazing. I kind of like that.